How y'all doing though? Early Monday morning. Depends on where you are in the world. Thought I'd come on through today. We just doing this live afternoon stream. We're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna get into it. You know, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. Hope y'all doing good. See what we talking about. Real nice and live today. We'll be on for a little bit. What's up? Your timing is perfect. How you doing today? I'm gonna be on for an hour, and we'll be on today. I'm glad you coming on. I'm good. I'm glad you're doing all right. Yeah, yeah. Every time when I don't get you on, that's like a lost day. So I'm glad that you're here today. What you want to talk about? I'll reveal it around you. With the question I put out, I'll reveal it around you. What kind of topic you want to talk about? And let me do something real quick too. Well, no, tell me what you want to talk about because I'll give you a topic. Give me a topic. Okay, Tyrese. Good. Okay, Tyrese. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna do that one. Thank you. I'll do Tyrese. I already did I did the Diddy verdict yesterday already. I did the Diddy verdict yesterday already. So I did Diddy already. So let me do Tyrese. Yeah, we've been talking about Diddy so much that that makes no difference. Carter and Nicki need to stop. One of them is washed and sounds like she's on a revenge, and the other one, they both got played by the industry. It's sad. Um, that's all it is. Mm. What's a 67? Better start talking in English and talk fast because I don't know what that be meaning in English. I don't do that, so I don't know what that means. Well, it's not the first time his dog done some stuff though. That's the thing. His dog has done other things, so it's not the first time. He's not exempt. He's had another a situation. Tyrese was involved with some other stuff, so it's not. Yep. Yeah, the polls are coming left and right. This is good. This is good. Yeah, Tyrese has had up. They've had warnings about it before. And I'm gonna tell you something. Usually, when someone has a dog that is attacking, it's not the first rodeo. You know. Yeah. So it's possible that it's happened before. You know, like I tell you before, there's nothing new under the sun. They are. They are. I grew up. I grew up where I lived in a neighborhood, and the dogs would follow whatever you say. So it's not something that they don't. So he's gonna end up doing 2 years because what they got set up is simple. Um, he's already done 13 months. It's a 4.5 year. It's a 450 months. It's a little over 4 years. So he's done 13 months already. So if he gets into this one program, that can knock off a year. And then they got a thing set up where they signed into law that if you're over 50 and it's a non-violent offense, they take, I think, a year off. I think it's, so he'll be out probably by the beginning of 2027, probably like a year. But the problem he runs into, he's got 5 years probation. So they got him jammed up either way. So he's got to pretty much be drinking lemonade and Kool-Aid. So he's in a no-win situation. If you care. So really, basically, will amount to 2 years. I'm not Gary, so you're in the wrong place. People coming here. Yeah, there you go. He will be doing it. Let me get this thing going. He knows about a certain few things that he can't talk because if he talk, he's got to act like he's dumb. He didn't sign himself into a put him in a predicament he can't get out of. You know, he's so far deep, it's not even funny. Been known about all that going on, but he has to play a role. He knows a lot more than he leads on. And there's a lot he don't know. What's happening? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Glad to have you coming through. Long time no see. And every day I'm called a legend, so but I'll take that compliment. Appreciate you coming through today. Been a long time. It's a lot to talk about. If one of the cats comes back today, I have to apologize because I thought UCLA, that was RC that came through. Boy, I got that wrong. Penn State lost. I was like, dang. They don't usually lose 2 games to week 12. Got that wrong. It is. It's not too intense. I know where you're going with that, but he's not going to say nothing like that. Yeah, I know. I think who's playing? Minnesota? I forgot who's playing. They always bring sorry butt teams, so it don't even really count. Teams that aren't postseason worthy. That's exactly what I meant. Thank you. Two sorry butt teams. The games nobody wants to watch. Nah, it doesn't help the ratings. People want to see him play. What you talking about? Shoot, this is Cleveland we're talking about. Ain't like they got a lot of room to be being picky. I want to see if he can play or not. Is he is he a legit player or is he the Bronny James of quarterbacks? I want to know. Keith Murray, I love that song. So for that time period, AZ may have had the better career, but I think Keith Murray had the cut though. It ain't no big game. If you're a Cowboy fan, shh, big game against the Jets. Oh wow, you're not losing that game. But if you do lose, I'll clown you. Actually, the Jets ain't won no game. What you mean better watch out? Shoot. But then again, the Justin had some heartbreakers. Justin Fields might break off on y'all. I mean, y'all have Russell Wilson thinking he still had hope, so it might happen. You might be on to something. That's not an easy game for Cowboys. They don't do nothing less than giving up 30 points, so you're right. Sorry as y'all is. Probably will. I mean, y'all do stink though, so it ain't one of those years. It's been one of those decades. Tell the truth. You done stunk for half a decade. Shoot, Jalen Hurts got many Super Bowl appearances. Y'all got uh Dex got playoff wins. So tell the truth. You already know you suck. That's sad. Y'all be struggling with busters. That's the sad part. Y'all not even y'all don't even it's not even against the legit teams, it's the busted teams that be throwing 40s on y'all. Now, he ain't the dude that people make him out to be. He's good, but he get way too much hype. He one of them guys. He stat pads. They locked him up. They didn't stop him on that last sack. The deck, but that's all. But they still gave up 40 points. Okay, I will. Oh come on now, you gotta be kidding me. As far as what? Who wrote a better book? Who's a better storyteller? Charles Haley and everything you can imagine. And on the football field ain't even close. Stop this. Please stop. How you think I am? I mean, I saw Charles Haley in his peak in his prime. Micah ain't seen no Charles Haley. Shh. Please don't insult the intelligence with that one. That's not even funny. That's not even funny. You gotta be. You better say that for somebody who ain't seen nothing, cause Charles Haley runs circles around Micah. And keep me on my toes and make me look at you sideways. I remember Charles Haley very well. And I remember what he did for the 49ers too. Shh. And keep me on my toes and make me look at you sideways. Shh. We played the sorry butt Patriots. Nah, that's just his image. His image was like that, but no, he was Madonna. When you say that flamboyancy, if you're talking about the imagery, if you're talking about him as a player, he was like, hmm, who would I compare Ryman with musically? Hmm, it's kind of like a Rick James thing. Uh, I would say that, except the difference was he wasn't. He was a rock star, but he, it's kind of like a dude that people didn't realize had that much there until it blew up, and then he kind of came out of other people's shadows. I'd actually compare his situation to Bobby Brown if you want to be technical, because uh, he was he had crazy popularity because it's like the everyday people could relate to him, and he had a very flamboyant, carefree lifestyle. But he was a natural. Don't get it twisted. One of the most natural athletes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this cat, people don't realize he took care of his body. He had one of those kind of situations that, you know, it already is. What a dummy. Um, he was popular. He was extremely popular. Rodman was that dude. I've never seen anyone else like Rodman. No, I can't say that. Can't say that. I disagree because that Bulls one against the Sonics won 2 games in the finals. So I don't know how you could say that. He played at a peak when they won the 72, 72 and 72 and 10. Uh, he played at a peak level. 72 and 9. He played the Piston one was probably like the second year where he was coming into his own. And then the Spur version, he was great. He wants division. He wants dictatorship. He wants to stir the pot where he don't think about what's going on. There's nothing he's doing that's helping the country. He's helping himself so he can avoid getting locked up. That's what's up. His agenda is to strictly distract you. It gets you talking about things that's mundane. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, they can't finish. They can't finish, and it's sad too. Because Sean McVay is a great coach. I mean, um, they they're like if they could finish, shoot, they'd be the best team in the NFL. He got no vision. It's just dictatorship. It's just to blur you and make you get dizzy. That's all that's about. What happened to his brother? I didn't get the message. I haven't been on all day. So what's up? I didn't hear nothing about his brother. I know nothing. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I haven't been home all day. Oh, yeah, 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 I heard about that. I just okay, okay, I forgot. Okay, okay. Yeah, I heard about that. I just didn't quite think we're brothers. Yeah, right. Yeah, we already know that the Earth is decaying. Solar galaxy. If you pay attention to everything that's going on in Alaska, you know. But it's the way people treat the planet, though. Okay, okay, gotcha. Okay. I don't really understand either one of those. I don't really understand what's the greatest conspiracy theory. I say Tuskegee, Alabama is the greatest conspiracy theory. Hmm. That was pretty cool. Excuse me. Best male vocalist? You talking about all time? That's a tough question. It's kind of tough to ask. Yep, yep, yep. That's the experiment that I think of more than anything in recent memory. It's hard to say which one is the best all time. It depends on what your criteria is. I mean, that's a lot of people you can pick for best male vocalist. Depends on what your style is. Get this thing back in. Oh God, what are these questions? I mean, you're really reaching on this one. I don't know. I probably say animals is what comes to mind. Probably Africans, I would say. Yeah, I heard that. I wish she'd shut up too, cause I mean, she got that Jada Pinkett. Like, do you really even love him? I mean, the more she talks, the worse it sounds. I mean, it's just like, dang. I mean, dang. That's why he has to keep a binky in his mouth. I mean, what they get married for? I mean, she don't just wear the pants, she wears the zipper too. I mean, she's got to be one of the wives I've ever heard. I mean, she makes Jada almost look tolerable. Nah, outside looking in, you know what? They've been married how long? And you got all he done been through, and she's saying this like 30 years later. Psst, please, she for the streets, y'all. She mad because ain't nobody really want her high maintenance behind. That's what's up. Ain't nobody sweating her. Ain't nobody sweating her. Ain't nobody sweating her. And if she was watching this live stream, I say ain't nobody sweating. Yeah, that whole thing was like they were swapping. Yeah. Yeah, because it's strange. When you think about, yeah, well, you airing stuff out in public, ain't nobody was sweating Aisha Curry. But Dale was getting embarrassed though. You know, they swapping. I guess that people don't talk about it, but when he won that chip in 22, that's his parents, his mother and father going through all that mess in the papers. It was all in the stands, all over. That's why he is battle tested. And I just think it's embarrassing. And Aisha need to shut up or go see a shrink. You sat up there and you had all these kids with this man. He got as many children as he got rings on his finger. And you sitting up here like, I don't know what I feel about you. I'm like, man, you know what? That's why there's cats who ain't trying to get married, ain't trying to wife you up. Talking crazy. Talk like a crackhead. You know. I just ain't used to that kind of logic. I don't understand it. You know. Run or what? You talking about the run with SGA? If he talking about the SGA, I'll give him that. Is he talking about the SGA era? Chad Hogan era? If he's talking about this one, yeah, I'll give him that. Is he talking about this past championship run? This run? I'll give him that. What is he talking about? No, heck no. He was MVP one year. They underachieved. They choked. He tripping. Deserves more recognition. What did you win? You went to one finals for all that talent you had. He sound like a crackhead. No, he don't deserve more. Well, you gotta go. You gotta go to multiple finals. I can understand if you had like what happened with the Utah Jazz, but y'all had the talent. That doesn't equate to what that team should have been doing. Go to back finals and lose or something. Then yeah. Oh, it's past hard to win with Russ, but it's hard to win when you don't have structure. Well, what has he won without Steph, though? He's tried that routine and it didn't work. So what is Kevin Durant? He's not exactly the smartest, sharpest tool in the shed. I really don't want to hear much he got to say. I really don't. And that's a good question. Let me put this one down. I like this one. Okay. Let me address that one real quick. Let me do Charlene's one real quick. More revolutionary. Probably 85 to 89. 90 to 95 was more inclusive. And I would say 96 through 00 was probably um, a turning point because Pac and Biggie and all that. But I think 90 through 95 was inclusive. That's when the South, that's when other people had other things. Katie in my top 15. Let's see. Once I get to LeBron at 10 or 11, then I got Dr. J. Let's see, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Elijah one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hmm. I'll put it to you like this: if whatchamacallit, if Jokic or Giannis win another ring, he's behind them. 1 through 4 is Lakers only. Magic, Shaq, Kareem, Kobe. Um, I'd say about 88, 89. Moses. Moses the most disrespected. Yeah, at least you know about Magic and Shaq. That ain't going for discussion there. Because that dominance was too extreme. I got Kareem over because Kareem's hook and he came up bigger. Imagine if Kareem had the opportunity. Kobe's uh the way the thing played out was more magical. But Magic came in, they created, he came in, he dominated, and Shaq did too. So that's why I gotta go back. That's why those are 1 and 2. Kareem because he was integral. And Kobe became integral. That's a lie. Who told you that lie? What you mean wasn't as talent back then? Yeah, I'll give you that. The heck you talking about not as talent athletic back then? What's Michael Jordan? What's Dominique Wilkins? What's Clyde Drexler? What's George Gervin? What's Julius Erving? What's David Thompson? People be cracking me up talking about not as talent. Larry Bird is still a standard for white players. Who has come along that's been a white player that's seeing Larry Bird? Please tell me. Isaiah Thomas, who could handle, could score. Please. He says stuff that don't mean, but mentally. Mentally. See, you can talk about those things, but does that mean that they're better? No. Talent is only as good as what you use. Athletic is only as good as what you use. I'll take a muscular bodybuilding female over BBL. BBL is false. BBL be making you think it's real, but thank you. And he's more closer to Andre to Arnold Drummond from different strokes. Andre Drummond is a great example. Remember when the Lakers got him and he said I'm the most important draft since Kareem. And what he do? I'm taking Isaiah Thomas over Kyrie because because Kyrie ain't never played with the mental capacity. Thank you. He ain't never his handles is sick. That's thank you, Kaboom. Thank you. You're proving my point. You want to brag about someone having talent and skills? Yeah, Kyrie got him in his handles, but he's not effective. What has he done that's so effective? What team has he led that's so effective? He's a good, he's a good. I'm glad you came in here and said Kyrie Irving. Thank you. Talented and athletic, but he ain't. You can make a case for Oscar Robertson. And I still think Magic Johnson does more than Curry. Not a better point guard. I will give Curry the point guard, but if I'm taking about a guy who only has to score 2 points that can beat you different ways, Curry can't make it if he only had to score like Magic. He can't do that. See, this is what a lot of these cats come around here don't. And I don't know how old you is. I don't know how old you is, but this is what a lot of young cats don't understand. Y'all get excited about talent and your skill, but can you beat me in a way that you fill up a scoreboard where you don't have to score a bunch of points, that you don't have to overindulge? Magic could do that. Magic could lead a break, drop off 5, 10 assists, 5, 10 rebounds, 2 or 3 steals, a block shot, and score about 5, 10 points. Beat you multiple ways. There's a difference. Curry's top 10 for me. I'll say this. Oscar Robertson could. And I'll say Magic too. Especially Oscar Robertson. You know how lethal Oscar Robinson was. Because he did all that without a 3 point line. He was a triple double machine without a 3 point line and hand checking in the 60s. And I think he would be a problem for Curry. I think he'd be a problem for a lot of them. And look, I'm a big Curry fan. I think Curry's one of the 10 greatest players ever. I'll give him that for what he's done. But not quite. Do you ever Nate Thurman wasn't white. Wilt Chamberlain wasn't white. Bill Russell wasn't white. Sam and Casey Jones wasn't white. What are you talking about? You obviously don't watch the game properly to some of the stuff that you're saying. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like there was a bunch of Herman Monster turkeys that they were running by and they were just Michelin men. They had cats that were athletic in all eras. I like how people who don't know say such dumb stuff and he's presented as facts when it's not. Uh they were skilled players too. For one season? Oh God. Moses and Dr. J. A 4-4-4 was what I know. And for 1 year they looked scary. And they had a better starting five than the Lakers did. And they had a better starting five than the Bulls did. And a better starting five than Golden State did. For 1 year, Moses and Dr. J. If I had to take one for 1 year. Same one loss. They only lost in '83. Sixers only lost one lost postseason game. Look it up. But Popeye was always freestyling. I am what I am, and I say what I can. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Because he was busting freestyles. George Jetson was the way we supposed to be living now, and Bugs Bunny. I know where you would say Shaq and Kobe, but you know, now because Moses Malone came there with Dr. J. Okay, three-time MVP Moses Malone, Dr. J, multiple MVPs. Think about it. Think about it. You want to be a historian? Think about it. That was a one-loss postseason run, and Moses hit a 4-4-4 and did the thing. And they came back in all four games against the Laker team and beat them. You know, so mm. All right. Let's see what we got real quick. Okay, let's see what we got. Get some more questions going. Don't get quiet now. Well, I can't talk about the others because COVID's the last one, so that's kind of obvious. I wasn't around for the others. And, this last thing is more because of obviously the impact. So that's how I got to go based on it. He came through the other day. He was here briefly. I think he probably upset about them sorry but Packers. We talked briefly. Probably sick to his stomach. I would be. Spent all that hype and your defense, and you couldn't score. You couldn't beat Cleveland. Yeah, them down. You let Fluco beat you with a Fluco. Uh, all of them are covered. 911. No, It's all bad. He's got to be pretty sick because Detroit's now the best team in that division, and the Packers. I think it's got to do with LaFleur's coaching. I think LaFleur and kind of ran out of ideas personally. Well, it did end. I mean, it was a sorry ending. Both teams suck, so that's what you want. That's what you got. You know, but you both suck though. Yeah, you can call me a hater all you want, but your teams do suck though. Y'all suck. And you should admit it and get it out your system. You know, good and well, you letting Russell Wilson, you had Russell Wilson thinking he had a chance. Shoot. And look, till he threw that last pick. I mean, come on now, y'all suck. You got a kicker had to kick a 64-yard field goal to save your behind. He did 100 yards of 2 kicks just to beat the Giants. Let that sink in, okay? I don't want to hear nothing about no sorry but Cowboys. And then Caleb Williams throwing flea flickers and throwing in rounds on down rounds on y'all. Y'all suck. Y'all suck. Y'all garbage. Yeah, if you didn't have him, your butt would be without him. Dang, you don't beat the Giants. Yeah. There's a good chance y'all like 0-2-1 without him. He's your best offensive force. Yeah, well, I know he won for money. I don't know what he doing. That's not my problem because I don't be wasting my time with no whack team. So you ain't gonna hear me say nothing. Y'all don't want none of us. Come on now, are you for real? Are you actually asking this as a legit question? I'll put this in a future one. The Thurman was a better running back, and he had a better career because at the time the stats is two different totalities. But I will say this though, he was a front runner for what Thurman Thomas did. I will give you that to an extent. But Roger Craig's was it was more dependent for the grind out. Thurman was more explosive. But I could see a blueprint though. So you ask me who had the better career. Well, it depends on what your status is. If you're going by the stats, it's Thurman Thomas. If you're going by the career, it's Roger Craig from getting the rings and being an integral part. But yeah, for me, it's actually comical that you asked that. But I'll take that. I like Westbrook. It's just that the Eagles didn't do nothing. That's the only problem. They went to one Super Bowl, and he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. He looked bad. He was all purpose cat. I'm trying to think who I would compare him with though. Maybe James Brooks. Just like a scat player that came out the backfield. Okay. Yeah, when you talk about talent perspective, yeah. Okay. Okay. I think spirituality for me, something I can tell you. To me, that's all it comes down to. You can do all the self help books you want and psychology, but I think spirituality is where it comes down. Mm. All right. I probably got about 15 more minutes. I'm going to be on. I'll probably be on tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow for sure. Not Tuesday. Jerry. That's not even close. But that's a good question, though. Because Jerry was a movement. Now I watched them both. I watched them both. And Maury was good. It's just that Jerry had a way about him, though. I watched them both. But it's Jerry Springer. Good question, though. Mm. Okay. Still trying to get this thing to come through. I don't know what they be doing with me. They be playing with this thing. Okay, I finally got it now. Turn this joint off. Gotta get back on here again. I'm finally getting it the way I want it. Took long enough. Okay, keep on hitting the like and everything up. We back now. We are good now. Okay. Let's see what we got. So let's keep it going. If people want to talk, let's do it. Yeah. I don't know. Probably would say Russia. Probably Russia. Israel and the States. I would be very surprised about China. Probably say Russia. I don't even want to know about that. Stuff is disgusting. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, see what we're dealing with. Come on now, let's see if anybody's on here. I'm live and looking forward to conversation, so feel free to talk. If we go quiet, I'll probably have to get off. Okay, go ahead. What you working with? Waiting on your question. I ain't heard that name in almost 40 years. And that whole thing with Reverend Sharpton was it's a touchy subject because on one hand it was proven to be a false one, but on the other hand, it was at the height of Bensted in New York, and there's a lot of racial resentment in New York toward black people. So it's a funny reminder. So it's pretty intense. It's one of those stories that you want to believe it because it's happened so much, but then it said it wasn't. But then you just that's a lot goes on. Okay, let's see what we got. So I answered that question. I'm waiting to see if anybody's gonna come through. I'll give you a few more minutes to see if we got anything coming through. As I need people to come back and answer some questions, and if you feel like talking, it's gotten quiet again. Mhm. It's always about money and power. Always wasn't going for about money. Castro, but they were both brought in by association from, again, when you say stuff, who put them in position, you know? So, uh, they both benefited from insider. And then they got delusional and got power and went off. That's all I can say. I don't think none of them are ridiculous. Uh, they have interesting perspectives and philosophy, so I don't look at it as ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion. I haven't really invested enough to really call anything like that. I mean, I don't hear. I usually don't encounter people that say it either. So I don't know. I already did a video about it. If you watch my videos, I already covered it. See, you're not watching my videos anymore. I did that already. You know good and well. If I do a Michael Jackson story come up, that video was out. It drops, and I gave my thoughts and my takes on it. And Lionel missed the boat because Quincy Jones called him that. It's an old studio thing. Uh, and even if he did, you need to take that. You need to keep that quiet. Just makes Lionel look tacky. You know. But mine says about back in '94. But when the Jacksons did their, you know. So I talked about a whole lot of stuff, and I just look. I think Lionel Richie is one of the greatest artists. Well, he's using it to sell a book. I'd be more inclined to hear how the creative process went down, and and that. Not like hearing he sharing notes about when he wrote vamps and grooves and how he came up with stuff. I'll be caring to hear about that. I wouldn't say it. There's a lot of entertainers that's got bad hygiene though, so you know. Well, yeah, some things you just keep underneath your head hat, but Lionel trying to sell that book though, so I don't know. I'm not feeling it though, so but to each and their own. Yeah. I just think that he went too far with that mess. That's all. So that's all I gotta say about that. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. I did the video already, and he, you know, it's just not cool. More people want to know how he smelled after Brenda whipped up on his behind. That's what more people care about. That's what more people care about. You know. Like I said, I'm not really invested in it. I'm not gonna get into it. I think that he could have spent something else to talk about. And I do think Lionel Richie's a great artist. I think he's one of the greatest artists ever. And I hold him in high regard. But you know what? No, that's not a topic you really want to go to. Especially when you took your butt to Joe Rogan and then you was trying to whitewash it. And Joe Rogan is a bigot. So I look at Lionel sideways. And for people who think Lionel, who already got issue with him, he just landed himself in more of a dog pile. So he been better off not saying nothing. He really would have. Okay, I'll be on for 3 more minutes today. I got 3 more minutes that I'm gonna be on for. I don't do as long on Sundays. I'll give you a straight hour. But did get everything on eventually. Oh, Lionel did. That's not up for discussion. Now, because Smokey's best songwriting was for others. Did you hear him using the N-word? Look it up. And I'm gonna tell you something. I have a podcast, Mr. Max Creator, on Spotify. When I was doing my podcast, I haven't gone in a while because they changed the way you can, do it. We had this disclaimer. It's the Rogan disclaimer. No, it was the Rogan disclaimer. And the Rogan disclaimer was because you got to watch what you say. But because he made Spotify such a big fat bag, they let him sit there and keep on putting his podcast up. But it was because of him. I had to always look at that disclaimer if I was doing a live stream on Spotify. So I don't hear none that trash got to say. But he's like the Howard Stern of the game now. And they always like somebody like that to just be venom. Well, if he did, it was low budget. It didn't blow up to nothing. So anyway. No, I don't. I ain't pay him no attention no way. So, but all I'm just telling you is that if you go to Spotify and you ever see it, there's a disclaimer. That's because the Joe Rogan rules. He went off. It ain't nothing new. They don't pay no attention to. They let them do what they want to do. Trump supporter and all other stuff with him. I don't be making up stuff, so that's not something that I specialize in. and so I try to avoid when I see Joe Rogan. I really pull a Heisman. I put the hand and I look the other way. What's happening? How you doing? Right. Okay. It looks like it's gotten kind of quiet. Besides, French, Italian, different. It does Swahili. Depends. Depends. Depends on where you live. Depends on where you live. All right, this time 3 more minutes and I'm gonna call it a day. I did 2+ hours yesterday and I just like 5.5. So I think you know, I'll do about 3 more minutes a day. I tell you this, the thing about language, it depends on how people bring it into you. If people give you a reason to learn it, it can be very coaxing and soothing. What about his latest song? I don't keep up with him. I did see him on stage giving Usher his flowers though. Yeah, he had that one song that came out a few months ago, Residential. And I know R. Kelly jumped on the remix, that's how I remember. Oh, he stays putting out music. It's just that most of the stuff be corny. Um, Not that though. All right, I'm gonna call it 1 more minute. Okay. See if anybody got any more questions. Looks like it just kind of faded on out. All right. Well, that looks like that's about it. So I'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate when it came through. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Appreciate you. Peace.